Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's an exciting video because I am starting a new series. So if you couldn't tell from the title of this video, I'm going to start every Tuesday is going to be Tips and Tricks Tuesday. So I will share with you my Disney tips for, whatever it could be, rides, combating Disney heat, tricks of the trade to make your day even more magical at Disney. So anything around that realm, I'm going to be sharing with you guys on Tuesdays. That is my plan, so I can keep a more consistent schedule for me and for you guys to be on the lookout for my videos. And I'm also going to be introducing another series very soon, which I'm really excited about, and it might have to do with Disney food, but we're not going to get into that yet. So as you can tell from this video, we are starting out strong with a Disney hacks video. I have never done this video before. I've done a couple of other tips and tricks types video, which I will link into the playlist when I make it, and I might update them. But this is the first time I'm doing a Disney hacks video. I really thought about it, did a little bit of research, and made sure that these hacks were things that actually could be done, because I know there's some things that you can look up online and they just don't really work, and you really don't want to go to Disney and look stupid. So, and just ask for something random and be like, well, what are you talking about? So this list of Disney hacks is completely tried and Caitlin approved. So let's go ahead and jump on the video, shall we? Alright, so my first hack is my #1 hack. This is the one that I use every time I go to Disney World, and it makes everything so much better, which means after you hear it, you guys are probably going to click off this video and then there goes my watch time. But it's for you guys. I'm doing it for you guys. So my first Disney hack is to play the Fast Pass game. And no, there's not some kind of magical board game that you can play for Fast Passes. Pretty much, when you make a Fast Pass, let's say you're doing it for your hotel, I wouldn't necessarily, this is more of a hack for if you want to get Fast Passes closer to the time that you're going. Maybe you made Fast Passes a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, and you didn't really find anything that you wanted. So what I like to do is typically on the day of going to the parks, after the park is already open, I open up my Disney Experience app, and let's just say I wanted to ride Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom, and those Fast Passes are hard to get. I just kind of play the game. So I might screen record my phone so you guys can see how I do this, but pretty much I just keep clicking between the times constantly, and usually if I'm trying to explain this in a good way, if you want a Fast Pass for maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, don't click on the 10 o'clock in the morning time slot. Go to the 6 o'clock at night, because Disney's weird and then they'll give you a 10 o'clock in the morning Fast Pass. They will never do it for the time you're looking for. So just keep bouncing back and forth between those times, and eventually one will come open. It'll come free, and I just feel like a lot of people don't do this enough. It's such a good hack. It really, really is, because I have never not once gotten a Fast Pass that I've wanted. I've multiple times gotten one for Flight of Passage last minute, Swirling Saucers last minute, when we take my niece, just anything you can think of. You just play the game and just keep going back and forth between the times, and you will get your Fast Pass. The second hack is kind of for money saving purposes too, but it's something that I think people forget about very often. And actually my friend Daphne and her family, if you haven't seen her channel, it's Thomas Ever After, I'll link it down below. They do this, and it is the pressed pennies at Disney. So everywhere in the parks, there are these little stands. They're kind of hidden unless you look for them, but they're pressed pennies. You pay, I think it's 2 quarters and a penny. And those are great souvenirs. They're usually really cute little pressed pennies. And if you ask a cast member, they'll usually, if you have a crappy penny, they'll give you a nice shiny one, so that it comes out really well. But you can buy the books and keep them in there. And it's a great cheap souvenir for your kids, maybe for someone who's never been to Disney and you want to get them something that's not gonna break your bank. And it's really fun because you get to go to the different stands and look from around the parks. So it's entertainment as well as a really cheap souvenir, which I really enjoy. I never personally did it myself, but I went with them to Disney a couple times and saw them doing it, and it looked a lot of fun. So I've actually started taking my nieces to do it, and they absolutely love it. So getting the pressed pennies is a great way to save money and a great way to just have some extra entertainment and magicalness at Disney World. This next hack is also kind of a money-saving hack, really, and that is to shop at the character warehouse. If you guys didn't know, Disney has two like outlet stores. They're called the Character Warehouse. One is on Vineland, which is very close to Disney's like parks, very close to Disney Springs. And then the other one is on International Drive, which is by like the Mont Millenia, the Eye, and all that. And pretty much they have, I guess, old items like maybe it's February, they have all their Christmas items there. They have maybe overstock items. I'm not exactly sure what goes there, but there are many, many times where I go to the park and I see something really cute, and then I go to the outlets and I end up seeing it there for way less. Like way, way less. Things are, I mean, you can get shirts for $2.99, and I have an example for you guys. Okay. So this hat right here, it says, if you read this on the back, it says thank the Phoenicians with the little spaceship Earth. Obviously it's from that ride. This is still sold in the parks for probably like $27, I believe. If anyone knows the exact price, you can comment down below. I went to the outlets on Black Friday and got this for $7.99, and they had a ton of them. So it's just things like that. Like there was also a autograph book that my sister had bought in the parks for really expensive, and she ended up finding it at the outlets for $5.99 the same day. So you can really, really save some money. They have some great, it's not like bad items there. Like usually sometimes in the outlets you might not be able to find anything. Like it's quality, good Disney stuff that I buy all the time. I never buy things in the parks. Like I'm already scouting out Flower and Garden Festival because there's things that I know that are gonna go to the outlets. Like I think I have my cup behind me. Let me just reach back here. This cup I wanted so bad from the Flower and Garden Festival. I'm like, no, Caitlin, don't pay. It was like $27. It was something ridiculous. I'm like, don't pay that amount. It's gonna be at the outlet. And sure enough, a couple months later, this was at the outlets for $7. So it's just things like that. And it's definitely saved a lot of money, especially pins. If you want to get into pin trading and everything, you can get some really cheap pins there and then start out your collection that way. Another great hack for you guys, and this is something I haven't personally tried, but I know it works because there's no way it wouldn't work, but I will be trying it soon. And it is, if you really wanted to get into a restaurant, but you really don't want to pay those prices, like let's say you want to go to Be Our Guest, but maybe you don't like the food there, or you don't want to pay to eat there, which I might be wrong about this. I think it's still a quick service for lunch, but I think now for dinner, it is like a prefix meal, like you get your 3 courses and whatnot. But just go for dessert. Like make a reservation, just order dessert, and then you get to not kill your wallet, not eat anything that you don't want to eat, just to see the environment. But then you get to get a picture of the Beast and get to see just the whole restaurant. I haven't been yet, which is really sad, but I want to go really bad. But like I said, just if you really want to get into some of those restaurants, just get dessert. As long as it's not like a buffet style or something like that, then obviously you kind of have to pay the full price. But if you just get dessert, you can still see the ambiance of the restaurant without killing your wallet. Going off of like spending less money at the restaurants, another great hack is to book an early breakfast anywhere that you go. I don't know if this is true for the other parks, but for Magic Kingdom in specific is what I'm talking about. If you, well, first off, breakfast is usually cheaper than lunch or dinner, so you'll be saving money in that way and still get to see the restaurant. But 2 is if you book an early breakfast at Magic Kingdom, then you get to the park early before everyone else. So let's say you go to Be Our Guest, we'll use that as our universal example. You go to Be Our Guest, you're out of the restaurant before anyone gets in the park, and then you can wait by Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and be the first one on there. So, I mean, it's a really big advantage if you just book your breakfast really, really early, and that way you can get in line for those rides and already be back there and not have to fight the crowds to run back and get to that ride that you really want to ride. This one is a little bit more of a time-consuming hack, but if you really don't want to pay the ridiculous parking prices, a great hack is for you guys to park at Disney Springs. It is completely free to park at Disney Springs. They have a ton of room with all the garages, and they just built another one too, but they have buses. The buses can take you to the parks, and then you know, when you're done with the day, you can go eat a nice dinner at Disney Springs and just go home. You're not fighting any traffic to get, you know, I mean, you're fighting traffic to get on the buses, but I don't know if a lot of people are gonna be taking the bus to Disney Springs from like the parks at the end of the day. So you're not fighting the horrible traffic to get out either. I feel like it's much easier traffic around Disney Springs, so when you're leaving, it's a lot better situation. But you can park it free at Disney Springs, If you don't care, you can just pay the price, and it's a lot less time that you're wasting to get into the park, but it definitely does save money to park at Disney Springs, and then you get to do two things in one. You get Disney Springs and you get to go to the park. Another tip I have for you guys is to go left. A lot of people are right-handed, so typically when there is like a merge, kind of like Animal Kingdom, when you go into the park, everyone wants to go right because they're right-handed, and so most of the crowd will go that way. Go left, because a lot of people don't end up going that way. I always go left when I go to Animal Kingdom, and it's just so much easier to get through everybody than trying to fight the crowd going right. This hack, it kind of works and it kind of doesn't. And I say that because if you try this hack during the busy season like Christmas or Easter, it's not going to work because they're not going to let you do it. But if you want to not worry about parking at the ticket and transportation center and you just want to get straight to Magic Kingdom, because I understand it, that like riding the monorail, parking and then taking the tram and then riding the monorail is like one of my least favorite things about Disney, and it makes me not go to Magic Kingdom 90% of the time. You can park at the Contemporary and just say that you're eating at the, I can't think of the name of the restaurant, but you can say you're eating at the lounge there, and I'll put the restaurant right here when I remember what it is. And then you can just take the walkway over to Magic Kingdom. It's a very short walkway, and then you're right there. Or you can get your Uber dropped off there if maybe you are not wanting to take the bus. It's just a very short walkway from Contemporary to Magic Kingdom. So like I said, this works maybe half the time. It could be different now. I did it once, and then I got turned away the next time when I went to the Christmas party. So it really just depends on the time of the year and how busy they are. Now, if you are still at the park and the transportation and ticket center, but you don't want to wait in that crazy monorail line, another hack for you guys is to take the resort monorail. So I don't think a lot of people realize that the resort monorail doesn't just go to the resorts, it goes through the whole loop. So you can get on the monorail from Magic Kingdom to get to the transportation and ticket center, or you can get on the and they don't have to show your band or anything. If anyone, I've only ever been asked one time where I was going, and I think he was just asking it because we were just standing there waiting for the monorail, and I said the Contemporary, like we were gonna go eat at the Contemporary or something like that. So you can take the resort monorail. Yes, it does make stops, but when you get there in the morning and that line is ridiculously long, the ferry boat line is ridiculously long, or maybe you're leaving in the middle of the day and the monorail line is really long and the resort monorail is not, it's a great way to get to your car faster, or at least not have to stand there forever when you're just ready to get home. My last and final hack for you guys, and this is probably my number 2 hack, is to mobile order your food. I cannot say that enough. Mobile order your food. It saves so much time. You do not have to wait in the line with all those other crazy people who are just trying to get their food as fast as possible. Me and Tyler do it all the time. As we're walking to the restaurant, we'll just pick out what we want, mobile order, send it in, and then by the time we get there, all we have to do is wait in this little corner, and then they call you when it's your turn. And it's so much easier, your food's so much faster, and you don't have to deal with, you know, who's in line where, and, you know, trying to figure out what you want last minute or wait behind people who are still trying to figure out what they want. It just works. Just do it. It saves you so much time. As long as you have a card stored on your My Disney Experience app, which we do, or maybe if your band is stored on there, like for your hotel stays and whatnot, mobile ordering saves time. Do it. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this very first video in my new series. Comment down below your Disney hacks that you like to use. Maybe we have some different ones that I didn't mention. We can help each other out and make our Disney stay even more magical. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!